Welcome to Next Level Tech Arcade. I'm your host, Nick Smith, and today I'm playing Mario Kart with my good friend Steven from Vitec. Well, hello there.
Hello.
Welcome to the game. I know you're nervous, but it's okay.
I am.
You're going to be fine.
It's going to be difficult.
No, it's not going to be difficult. All right, so I'm going to get us in the game. Okay, so here we go. We're starting now. Remember A button? That's your, yeah, there you go. You're rolling. Okay, so right out of the gate, Steven. Just give everybody a rundown if they're new. Who is Vitec? What do you guys make?
Yeah, so we are all about IP video distribution and digital signage. And so being able to sort of distribute live TV, internal video around your IP network in your building, campus, around the entire organization, around the world, depending on how everything's set up. And then also on top of that, we do digital signage, so you can communicate with staff, guests, customers, emergency messaging, day-to-day communications, as all part of one platform.
And typically this would go inside of, well, I mean, there's a lot of places you guys go inside of.
Pretty much everywhere that's not residential. So a lot of corporate, finance, stadiums is a huge market for us. Federal, broadcast market, K-12 higher ed, healthcare, casinos. I mean, you name it. We have stuff everywhere.
You did that, didn't you?
I can't even see. There we go. There's so many buttons on the controllers these days. I'm turning into an old man.
Just stay on the A button. That's all we're asking.
I have a banana.
Well, you can throw that. The shoulder on the left. Yeah.
Right.
If I hit that banana, I'm blaming you.
I remember when there was only the 4 buttons on the controller, not the 27 that are on this one.
It's been a while. This is true. No, you said not residential, but there was a time when large boats were deployed.
Yeah, we still definitely, cruise is a big market for us, sort of high-end super yachts, and some sort of more government-focused residential type applications for sure, but a big thing for us is stadiums and corporate markets and sort of more hospitality from a hotel, casino, healthcare, nursing home, care home type setup. That's more of our focus when it comes to accommodation.
So stepping away from Vitec for a minute, let's leave them on the table. You guys are predominantly would be, the AV industry.
Yeah.
Right. So boardrooms, conference rooms, infocoms, ISCs. That's the market segment that you most often at. Now the team does do a lot at NAB as well, in the broadcast space, but that's more of the stadium play.
Yeah.
So when you look at the AV industry, what do you see changing right now? What's your perspective on it?
I mean, certainly from the industry in a whole, but especially Vitec.
Falling in the water?
Good. Move to encryption and content protection is a big thing for us and a lot of our customers.
What's driving that in there?
I mean, a lot of it is driven by the cable companies and the content creators. They want their intellectual property protected, and they know that when you're coming into a corporate office or a hotel or something like that, you're going to distribute video, and while most people are going to respect the copyright holder, you want to make sure that you're not going to be liable for something that happened on your network. And so with Vitec AES, you can basically make sure everything is encrypted and protected, and so the cable company can give you those live channels handoff. And they're happy that you're not going to do anything inappropriate, and it's going to be protected on your network. Did I win?
Okay, well listen here, whiner. I don't know what I'm doing, and I just beat Nick on the first game. Now, does that tend to be, the corporate customers, the hotel customers? Who's kind of making these requests for you?
I mean, it's coming from the cable companies directly.
Okay, so it's the cable companies kind of pushing their will.
Pushing it and have been for quite some time, but they're definitely stepping it up like a lot. Getting unencrypted live TV is very unusual these days, and so we've built our
This one's a throwback to your old days.
Yeah.
Excite bike. You have to recognize this one, although you're not on a bike.
And so there's definitely a big push from the content providers, and they have it for some time. But there's still a lot of solutions out there that are not properly, encrypting and protecting that content, and that's a and that's obviously a big problem, and it's ultimately a liability if something ends up on YouTube when it shouldn't be. The guilty party can, it's a lot of money at stake. So
yeah, and you guys don't want to be responsible for that.
No, and that's
nor do the dealers who installed it.
So we make sure that our system automatically will add encryption when it detects encrypted content. And that's also used, like, content protection, obviously, from the creator side, but also just internal videos. If you've got some sensitive video that you're sharing between all your offices or something like that, you don't want that, being intercepted and being able to be sent anywhere. You want to make sure it's going to the users and the endpoints, whether that's on a PC or whether it's on a TV with one of our endpoints or something like that. You want to make sure that content is always protected and secure, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And so having a system that does that and allows you to do that is really important these days.
Oh, nuts, I fell off the track again. Did you just blue shell me?
I don't know. I keep forgetting I've got all these extra buttons.
Oh, just keep hitting the one on the shoulder, because that's the one that's going to make, those will make it go faster.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm going to fall in the mud.
Yeah, no, that's bad. All right, I got some presents I'm leaving for you on the court, okay? Just aim for the bananas. What are the big, so I mean, that's the demand from the customers, right? It was like, or from the cable companies, which is, look, we'll give you our content, but you got to make sure it's protected.
Yeah.
What are you seeing from the technology space? What are the big innovations that are happening that you're seeing right now? Either in your technology or in the technology you're connected to.
Well, I mean, we're.
I always ask you the tough ones.
I know you're going to ask me the question again because I'm. I got distracted.
I got you screwed up. So, what are you seeing from an innovation standpoint, either coming from you guys or coming from the industry in general? Like, what's interesting in the technology space right now?
I can't think of an answer to that right now.
I've got it. It's like, I'm trying to win the game.
I'm trying to win the game. We'll have to edit this bit out.
All right. Okay, so all right, let me
think of. I think I thought of something earlier and I can't remember what it was. I was going to say when you asked that difficult question. What was I going to say?
While you're mulling on that.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys have tons of customers out there. You've been with the company a tremendous amount of time.
Yeah.
What's the one time somebody deployed and you were like, I would have never thought that would have gone there? Like you wouldn't have think they would have been one of your customers.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ones that so we have a lot of hotel, hospitality, casino resorts, and cruise ship customers. And
I had to redeem myself on that one.
And so we built a lot of features around that kind of accommodation market, but very much focused on that kind of in guest room experience. And so I was working on a project, and I was going back to our product team just to ask them some technical questions, and you could just tell they were confused. They were like, "Where are you going? Why are you asking these, somewhat questions that didn't quite match what they were expecting?" And basically, we were working on a project for a prison. And so it was a different type of hotel, but it was, but it worked, and it's still sort of a, you need a distribution for video and live TV, to provide news to inmates. But because of the control that we provide in terms of, dialing up or down access, it can be used for a sort of a behavioral reward mechanism. So if people are behaving, you can give them extra channels. You can give them sports and ESPN and fun stuff. And if they're not, you press a button, and all of a sudden it's basic news again. And so everything. That kind of control. So yeah, there were some confused people on our product management side when I was asking them some questions just to make sure it was going to be a good fit. But it was actually turns out to be a really good solution for that market, just because of all the control, emergency messaging, and everything we can do as part of the system. So
I'd love to get that at my house, just to control. Like, I'm sorry, you didn't do the dishes. You're out.
Yeah.
No TV for you tonight. That would be phenomenal. But it's hard with the internet, right?
Yeah.
You got one more in you?
Yeah, sure.
All right, we'll keep going here. All right. Kind of went through the the landscape of where things are going, where you're seeing it. You got an interesting customer. Is there anything new coming from Vitec right now? That's either already been announced, but something in the recent years. What's fresh from you guys?
Yeah, so we just launched version 11 of our management control software, basically, and it's allowing you to. It's completely redesigned the tools for content creation. So from a digital signage perspective, how you create that, sort of very drag and drop. There's a whole set of new tools for that. New functionality being added, like QR code creation tools that you can embed metadata into to allow you to sort of integrate with other solutions and redirect users to websites and things like that. We also, at the same time, have completely redesigned how you create the TV experience. So it's one of the things that's kind of unique between us and some of our competitors is the ability to kind of drag and drop, create the TV look and feel. And so, I'm off the side. And so, so basically when you're in a hotel room, when you're in a hospital room, creating that look and feel and personalizing it and branding it. And
is that now by user or by system, overarching system?
I mean, it's an overarching system, but you can have different versions for different sets of users. So say you're in a aged care nursing home setup, you might want to have one version of the TV interface for memory care, and it's maybe different than the staff training one, and it's maybe different again than the general user one in terms of the look and feel, how things are laid out.
Fewer buttons,
bigger buttons, bolder colors. I mean, the system allows you to do all that, so it makes it very powerful and very appealing for a lot of types of customers.
That was not funny, Yoshi. I'm not okay with what you just did there.
And so so we just launched that, and there's a ton of other features that are part of that. Our interactive wayfinding is brand new, so you can go up to a touch display, maybe in a big resort or a big corporate campus, and say, hey, where's the marketing department? And you can just press the button, and it will plot automatically the fastest route.
I mean, wayfinding is amazing, but terribly complicated too.
Well, we've tried to simplify it because it is. A lot of the established players is very, very complicated how it's done and very time-consuming to create that content and change it. Well, we've made it very graphical and very intuitive for a non-tech user to make and maintain the content, and that's a big thing for a lot of what we do. So, that's definitely some of the new stuff that's coming in 11. It's pretty awesome. We've also made some advancements in our kind of automation platform. That's what gets used for, amongst other things, emergency messaging. It doesn't have to be an emergency, but it is a big use case for that, and it comes as standard as part of the system.
It doesn't have to be an emergency, but being out of chicken nuggets or
it could be
can be seen as an emergency.
Yeah,
so it must get that message out soon.
Yeah, and exactly. And there's the whole system works on priority levels. So, you're sending out some HR messages. Or some marketing information. You can have these things kind of fire off and trigger as a low, normal priority. Then the CEO is doing the town hall update live from their office, and you can send that out as high because you want that video to be on all signage, all TVs in the building, even worldwide or across every office in the company if you wanted to. And then all of a sudden the fire alarm goes off, and you want that to override the CEO's update and do the sort of evacuation messaging on the screens as well. So you've got this whole kind of hierarchy so that when different things are happening from different users, they can have that priority level. Oh, did you win?
I did, but barely. You were right. No, don't stop yet. You're about to get left. No, wait, there it is. Boom.
Okay.
Stephen comes in and says, you did better than you thought you were going to do. You beat me once. I recovered, but that's okay. Listen, great stuff coming on Vitec as always. Killer having you on the show today.
Absolutely.
And, you did better than you thought you were. You can think and play at the same time. All right, this has been another episode of Next Level Tech Arcade. We'll see you soon, and thanks again for Stephen from Vitec for hanging out.